Yo, guys, this scene is just incredible. I'm gonna have to take a few moments to let you guys listen to this, because this is just, like, you have to hear it for yourself to really understand just how amazing this anime is with its comedy moments. So here, I'm gonna play it real quick.
Wow.
Bro! Like, just the VA just doing that meow sound, and the way the emote is with her hand is just absolute perfection. Like, there's so many scenes like this throughout the episode. I was dying when I was watching this. I was like, bro, this is freaking hilarious. Like, okay, like, I'm easily amused when it comes to comedy, but like that entire sequence, I'm just like, that's really just perfect. It is. But okay. Let's back up. Let's talk about what this is and if this is something that's actually going to interest you. I mean, that brief little scene I just showed you definitely should interest you enough to want to watch this, because that's incredible alone. But okay. So what is it about? What is its title? So the name of this series is called The Dangers in My Heart. I believe that's the English title, and I'm gonna say that I went into this series not really expecting too much. I just expected a typical slice-of-life romance. That's it. That's literally all I expected. And it turns out to be just so much more than that, with great likable characters, a very unique pairing at that, and great VA work, great art animation, great music, just all around fantastic first episode. I'm a sucker for good slice-of-life romance stories, and if you're into good slice-of-life romance stories, you're gonna like this. And, like, if I had to say anything that comes to mind, like, if I had to put a series up against this, okay? It's like a cross of Nagatoro and Watamote. That's kind of the feeling. It feels like a love child between those two characters, or those two series, not characters, but those two series. And to kind of explain that, basically, our tall girl right here, she reminds me a little bit of Nagatoro, but a little bit less mean, like the first episode. But we have, you know, the main male character, which feels more in line with, let's say, Watamote, the main female character, Watamote, and how she was very awkward, and she just didn't know how to properly interact with anyone. That's kind of how this series feels. It's like those two series combined into one and made whatever this is, and it's, like I said, excellent. Now, what is going on here? Let's talk about the MCs, because obviously when it comes to, let's say, slice of life series, like anything with slice of life and all that, the big part that draws anyone's attention is how's the comedy, how's the art and animation, and how's the characters. Because obviously the plot in these type of stories are very typical. You have a guy that's either awkward, or a girl that's very awkward, or, you know, maybe they just meet randomly or whatever, there's some drama, and they try to get together. It's the typical plot. There's only so much you can do with that type of, you know, plot. I mean, you could try to spice it up here and there with a little bit different drama or different twists or cliches, but it's very standard. It really comes down to how well executed the characters are and how they actually shine to the audience. And in this case, the main male character here, in terms of just how he is as an individual, he comes off as very edgy, or someone that seems to be very, like, silent, so to speak. Like, he's the quiet kid in class you don't make fun of, so to speak. That's at least the vibe he gives off, at least at the beginning of this episode. As it goes on, kind of find out the man's just a chuny, and the way he vents his frustrations at people that probably are inappropriate to him or mean to him, he just has these very edgy, you know, images in his head because of his overall personal interest, because of what he reads or what he likes. He just has a very edgy demeanor about him, at least in the beginning of the episode. But as the episode begins and, you know, it carries on, you get to see a different side of him. He's not this edgy person. He actually is very wholesome. He's someone that's very caring, and he has a very good sense of justice, so to speak, because, like, towards the end of the episode, he's watching our main female character having a little bit of an encounter with this guy that's obviously trying really hard to hit on her, and he's just not getting no. Like, he's not wanting to accept no for an answer, and, you know, he's just watching silently, and he's obviously having an interest in the main female character, and he's just wondering what he should do. And as it carries on, obviously, obviously, this guy pressures her into trying to give her number over. And she's about to draw out her phone and all that. He's being very forward about it. She's obviously not liking this whatsoever. So as, it carries on, the MC basically slings his bike, as you can see here, to get the tension away from those two and to completely break them up to where, everything's a-okay and she's not forced to give, that man her number, etc. It's a very interesting scene, especially because the end result of it, all it did was make the main male character kind of look like a fool just throwing his bike like that. But on top of that, he doesn't really tell her why he did it. So it just makes him look very awkward or weird, which is going into that line of Watamote. How the main character of Watamote always did these things that were just very cringeworthy, but they were in a good heart, in a good place. And that's kind of what's going on here with the MC. So I do like the overall presentation of what the story is doing with these two characters, at least so far. And they're both very likable, speaking of characters, we need to talk about the main female character. So the main female character, she isn't necessarily Miss Perfect, at least of what's presented within the episode. Clearly she's smart, clearly she knows what she's doing, but there's obviously flaws with her character. We get to see early on, basically, that she's trying to, munch in the library. She's very loud, she's a glutton, so to speak. She also is someone that puts her project at last minute. We literally see her working on a project, she forgets her box cutter, the MC has to give her one, she just smears chocolate on it to kind of make a message or title. It's clear that she isn't, I guess a traditional main female character. She's a little bit awkward. She's a ditz, so to speak. And I do like her for that. She's a cool character, and I think she's the exact opposite of the main male character. She's, more outspoken about her emotions, etc. I think that's pretty cool. And she also catches on very quickly, because there's an interaction in the middle of the episode where it's they're back in the library, and she has it to where one of her friends pops up in the room, and there's this encounter where, there's clearly a love confession going on. She catches, the message, and she just wanders off in the middle of the library and gets away from these two because she doesn't want to interrupt this bond. And it's clear that she's able to detect social cues. So overall, the character is smart. But at the same time, she has a little bit of a ditzy nature to her. So I like it. I don't know. Just the characters, they really stand out to me, and I sat back and I was like, man, this is really good. I'm not even gonna joke. When I finished watching this episode, I was so close to just straight up reading the manga. I was just like, I want to read this manga, but I was like, no. Let's stay anime only. Let's review the series, and we'll keep it like that. And then if I really would like it, I'll dive into the manga. But from what I have seen, The Dangers in My Heart is straight up fantastic. If you're looking for a slice of life romance with some good comedy, look no further than this series. It is definitely already a great start. There's not much more I could really ask for from a series like this if in this type of genre. Just straight up. So, I guess that's about it. I wanted to get this series on people's radar because I know there's some of you out there that might be seeking series like this, but, haven't probably watched it or haven't heard about this series. Really give this a shot. Seriously, watch the first episode, see if you like it, and if you mesh well with it, you're probably definitely going to want to continue watching it. But, I guess that's about it. Thank you so much for watching. If you all enjoyed this video, and if you want any more videos on this series, let me know in the comments below. If you like this series as well, let me know your thoughts on it as well. If you want to get any more videos notified from me, by the way, hit that bell icon down below, hit the like button, subscribe, etc. It does help me out a lot, and I would greatly appreciate it. But with that, guys, be safe, stay healthy, Chibi out.